Welcome to Mojo Core, and today we're counting down our picks for the most rewarding movie endings of the 21st century.
You can't destroy Candyland! We've been here! There's always gonna be a Candyland!
Number 10. The Dance, Avengers Endgame.
Captain America has the most tragic love life in all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
8 o'clock on the dot. Don't you dare be late. Understood?
You know, I still don't know how to dance.
Separated from Peggy Carter after he goes under the ice, Steve Rogers misses out on not only decades of history, but also the life that they would have shared. In Avengers Endgame, thanks to time travel, Steve Rogers is able to see Peggy again in the past, which breaks his heart all over again. At the film's conclusion, however, we see that Steve decided to stay in the past and has now grown old. And sure enough, he did alongside Peggy, with whom he finally gets that long-awaited dance. After years of waiting, it felt like a perfect ending to both Avengers Endgame and his story.
Number 9. Okay. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. In this sci-fi romance, Joel and Clementine have a complicated relationship. The brilliant script sets them up for a surprising and touching finale. By the end, the two reunite even after learning that they've erased each other from their memories.
What do you want, Joel?
Just wait. I don't know. I want you to wait for just a while.
The duo then decide to try and make it work despite all of their shared history. Even after they argue about the risks, both characters agree that life is too short to walk out on each other. This scene captures all of the nuances of a real partnership without resorting to cheap gimmicks.
And I'll get bored with you and feel trapped because that's what happens with me.
Okay.
Okay.
As they go back to the beach, both lovers happily spend time with each other in a hopeful nod to the future. Number 8. Chris is Hired, The Pursuit of Happyness.
I've been pulling double shifts for 4 months now, Chris.
Chris Gardner has a rough go of things throughout this film.
His marriage falls apart, he loses his apartment, and he and his son are ultimately left unhoused.
Nevertheless, Chris persists and works hard in an unpaid internship, even as life continues to throw hardships his way. All of Chris's hard work pays off though, as in the final scene, he gets the job at the firm, securing a future for himself and his son.
Tomorrow's going to be your first day. If you'd like to work here as a broker. Would you like that, Chris?
Yes, sir.
There were few dry eyes in the audience during this scene, as Chris achieved long overdue success. This film isn't an easy watch, but the emotional payoff is massive.
Number 7. Getting the House, Knives Out. At the end of this murder mystery, an unlikely hero emerges victorious. Nurse Marta Cabrera throws up on ransom, helps Benoit Blanc solve the case, and ends up winning Harlan Thrombey's estate.
I want you to remember something that's very important. You won not by playing the game Harlan's way, but yours. You're a good person.
Cabrera then sips a mug on the balcony of her new home in a savage moment. Writer and director Rian Johnson lines up all of these complicated dominoes, letting them fall in an elaborate finish. Watching Ana de Armas's character thwart the entire Thrombey family is just the cherry on top. After all is said and done, the movie delivers a feel-good ending that you won't forget about. Number 6. Solo, Whiplash. Andrew Naiman wants to be the best musician possible. When given the chance to play for the demonic Fletcher, the hero decides to really show off.
I'll cue you in. Caravan. 3, 4.
This performance brings together amazing directing, editing, and music into one unforgettable moment. Miles Teller gives his all to a scene that involves an impressive drum solo. Shocking everyone in the process, his student character finally joins the band to close out a phenomenal piece of filmmaking.
Andrew, what are you doing, man? I'll cue you.
It's part tragedy, part success story, but it's all told with the electricity of a real concert. There's no doubt that you'll be air drumming as the credits roll. Number 5. Full Circle, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. The wizarding world came together to defeat Voldemort, but the real end of the film comes with a time jump. Audiences get to see Harry, Hermione, and Ron sending off their own kids to Hogwarts.
Together.
Any fan of the series finds themselves in a vortex of nostalgia at this point. In a full circle moment, the friends reunite on the iconic platform to watch their children start a new adventure. It's a little easier to take the end with the knowledge that it's only the beginning. From Philosopher's Stone to Deathly Hallows, the entire franchise has a beautiful conclusion that focuses on the characters above all. Number 4. Dynamite Unleashed, Django Unchained.
A revisionist Western focused on the title character's quest to rescue his wife from slavery, Django Unchained builds to the moment beautifully.
Hey, little troublemaker.
Just as Django and Schultz's initial attempt to rescue Broomhilda looks poised to succeed, it all goes horribly, horribly wrong. Schultz is killed, Django is tortured and sold to a mining company. Things look bleak. However, Django manages to outwit his captors and fight his way to freedom. Returning to the plantation with dynamite, he blows the whole thing to smithereens, then rides off with his wife. Satisfaction and style. What more could you ask for?
Hey, little troublemaker.
Hey, big troublemaker.
Number 3. What Alfred Sees, The Dark Knight Rises.
The conclusion of the Dark Knight trilogy sees Batman seemingly sacrifice himself to tow a bomb away from Gotham City. The city, and especially Alfred, mourn him and pay tribute to the hero, while the torch is seemingly passed on to a new potential crime fighter. When the dust settles, Alfred visits a cafe in Florence, where he sees Bruce Wayne seemingly alive and well with Selina Kyle. To be fair, this could very well just be in Alfred's imagination. The butler actually described just such a fantasy to Bruce earlier in the film.
I had this fantasy that I would look across the tables and I'd see you there with a wife.
And considering the end of Inception, we wouldn't put it past director Christopher Nolan. Regardless, it's still gratifying to see the hero who sacrificed so much get a happy ending.
Number 2. Maximus kills Commodus, Gladiator.
A former Roman general, Maximus is forced into slavery after his wife and son are murdered. Becoming a gladiator, Maximus works his way up to the Colosseum. By making a name for himself and winning over the people, he eventually gets the opportunity to face the man who betrayed him, the Emperor Commodus, in single combat.
Do you think I'm afraid?
I think you've been afraid all your life.
Despite Commodus cheating by stabbing him beforehand, Maximus manages to defeat his foe and win. Although he dies soon afterwards, it's a glorious death, and one that reunites him with his family at last. But after all that Maximus has endured, it's fulfilling to witness our hero not only get justice, but also peace and happiness in the afterlife.
Number 1. You Bow to No One, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King.
Sure, some would argue that there are more endings to this movie than there are Rings of Power. But to those people, we say go back to the shadow, because they are all great. We'll be focusing on one in particular, though. With Sauron defeated and Frodo and Sam rescued, there's a tremendous relief as the world has been saved. Not only that, Aragorn and Arwen get together at last. Best of all, though, when the hobbits go to bow to them, the newly crowned king bows to them instead, and everyone follows suit.
You bow to no one.
It's tremendously satisfying to see our heroes get the recognition they deserve, finally judged by the strength of their convictions rather than their short stature.
Do you think any of these movies failed to stick the landing? Drop your arguments down in the comments.